Hello, guys. What's going on? Okay, before we begin, just let me know that you all can hear me and it's all fine. Sound checks are annoying, but they're mandatory. I wouldn't hate anything more than just speaking to myself and nobody hears me. So what's up? Let me know. Post in the chats. Yes, we can hear you. Okay, yeah, looks like we're good. Let's begin. So last night I gave you an exercise. I told you do create your code, your personal code, your values, what kind of man, what kind of person you are, what do you stand for, who you are. And I'm happy to see that many of you did do the exercise. I'm curious if some of you didn't do that. Would make me a little bit sad. I admit that. And of course, in the daily check-in, this is where you post your code and whatever I asked you to do. All right. So before we begin, I'm going to go through some of the examples I see in the chat, and I will tell you which one of them are good, which one of them could use a little bit of improvement, and which ones totally suck. So let's begin. Maybe we'll wait a little bit longer for more people to tune in. Fuck them. They couldn't do times, their problem. It's recorded anyway. Okay, I see here many of you use lots of one word to describe yourself. It is much better if you give, like a full vision. For example, you say, I see somebody says smart. Like what the fuck does it mean? Or maybe somebody says discipline, indefatigable, focused, resilient. That's too vague. You can't really use anything like that. Like, yeah, you're disciplined, but what does it mean actually? No, get your value and start to expand on it. Start to tell exactly what it means. Start to say, yeah, I discipline, wake up every day, does exactly what he says. Just describe the quality to perfection and see yourself in your vision living exactly that way. Otherwise, you just say things because they sound cool, but don't actually know how to live like this. Like, yeah, there we go. Somebody says strong. What does strong means? You could say very strong personality, doesn't take shit from anybody. When people tell him negative things, he resists them and continues to do what he believes in with absolute conviction. That kind of stuff. Like, put your personality into this quality so you can actually live that. You can't live one word. It makes no sense. And it has no power over you. You can't decide, oh, I'm respectful. No, I respect every single man I come across. I'm well mannered, well behaved. People respect me back. Leave that. Leave the quality. Don't just throw shit because it sounds good. Okay, somebody else says God, family, health. It means nothing. What does God mean? I know what God is. I'm a religious man, but God is not a value. You can say I believe in my religion. I follow the tenets that God gave me, and I'm absolutely honoring my ancestors' religion, and I'm following everything. Live that. Let's see. What else? What else? It's funny to see that females who post it actually do a much better job. Like, women are much more detailed. You see them do it. You really see them flowing and living through the experience. And this is why I told you try to do the funeral exercise. Like, you're hearing people like in a funeral. I don't know how many of you have been in a funeral. I assume most of you, but you're hearing the person like describing the deceased. Is You can paint the picture of that man in your mind, like what kind of man he was, because that's exactly the purpose. That's how you honor him. So this is why I told you try the funeral exercise and even write it as you're giving a funeral speech, a eulogy about yourself, because it's going to be much more powerful and much more descriptive. This is what you want. Let's see. There you go. Yeah, most of you just did the same thing, like one word values. It means nothing. So what I want you to do today, well, obviously I'm going to add some extra tasks to you, but I really want everybody to get their code down. This is the most important thing, guys. We have no idea how much it's important. Okay, does what he says. That's too general. Yeah, expand more of it. Kind. What does kind mean? Stoic. Yeah, again, too general. Loving, kind, helping, capable. No, expand on it. Always expand. He saves a lot of money. Saving money. So you see, those kinds aren't really qualities. When you say save money, this is not a quality, and you actually don't want to be a saver. You want to be an earner. Saving money it's something that the matrix teaches you. Like, this is old age wisdom. Like, save money, then you plan for retirement and that kind of shit. But nowadays it doesn't exist. Like, this is outdated advice. You don't want to save money, you want to make money, invest it, multiple it, and earn as much money as you possibly can. You don't want to cap your expenses. You want to just make your earning go way up. So this is just, it's not part of the exercise, but I'm just giving you a general idea. So do that. Okay, let's see a little bit more. Okay, guys, when you do the check-in in the daily check-in, I don't want to just say check-in. Yeah, I didn't do that or something. Preferably describe your entire day. I would love for you to do that by the end of the day before you go to sleep, so you can see it as like some, let's say, a daily reflection. You woke up, what did you do? Well, if there was an exercise involved, obviously describe it. I went to the gym, I did X, Y, Z, I met this person, I held my standards 1, 2, 3. Like, describe your day. Don't try to be cheap on words. You don't do this for me, you do this for you. When you do that, it's not just to say, oh, I did that. No, you're actually building your personality. You're forging who you are into somebody who's better. And many of that requires introspection, and like, you can consider it part of journaling, except you're doing it online and you're doing it with other people. So it's a very positive exercise. You should continue to do that and provide as many words as possible. You shouldn't try to be cheap. Don't try to be cheap. There you go. Somebody says, I'm here, I'm alive, and I live in the present. Like, bro, is that who you are? Like, if you die, would somebody say, obviously they can't say that you are here and you're alive, right? It doesn't exist anymore. So what would you say? Oh, he's willing to follow orders. He always did what people told him to do. No, it's weak. I told you, stick to the exercise. It's super powerful because it's give you a third party angle. So you can see how it looks from outside perspective. This is why this exercise is so powerful. I can't stress this enough. So yeah. Now, if you have a quality, always you can always attach a scene of it in mind. Like, for example, if let's see, consistent. Somebody says consistent. All right. So if you want an example for that, and while you expand on it, consistent is a man who keep doing everything every single day. He never gives up. He never thinks about quitting. Well, he may think about quitting, but he will never do that, and he will always continue to do as hard as he can, etc. And you also want to think about a scenario when something like this happens, right? Because if you go back to the funeral exercise, somebody's always giving an example. Yeah, when we were in the military together, we went through this to this mission, and you didn't give up, and while everybody was struggling, we were getting shot at, you kept pushing forward, like that kind of thing. So attach yourself to a specific scenario. It can help you visualize it a little bit better. There you go. Somebody says wise. Wise is not a value. Like, wisdom is something that you gain through experiences, through education, and that kind of things. It's not a quality that you just exist with. It's not a value. So keep that in mind. Okay, fearless. Uh, using fearless is not very good because it doesn't actually exist. People don't know fearless people. Everybody has fears. Everybody is scared. You don't want to be fearless. Well, you would want to be fearless, but it doesn't exist. So your values have to be realistic. You will have fear, but what you want to be is courageous. You want to be a courage man, a brave man. And the difference between a courageous man and fearless man is a courageous man, he feels fear. He's getting scared, but it doesn't prevent him from pushing forward and doing the right thing despite the way he feels. Back in my military days, I think on my first mission, when we were in the deploy to the field, we were in in the convoys. It was we were like in six in the vehicle, so it was me and five other and the officer. Now the officer was busy with the maps and everything else, and everybody of us, like the team, we were brand new. So some of us were praying, others were just cleaning the weapon, fidgeting, like trying to distract our mind from what we're gonna do, because that was scary, bro. Going to the field, you can very much know that it's very possible that things are going to go south and you couldn't make it back. That's a very possible scenario. You can die, like death is real, and we all knew that. And so when the officer just took the map off and looked at us, we tried to look like put our brave face on, right? Like, oh yeah, let's do that, let's seek the rest. And he was like, guys, chill. I know that you are scared. That's your first mission. I'm scared too. All of you are. You're human. If you weren't scared, I would be scared, because it means you don't grasp the situation, you don't grasp the enemy, you don't grasp what's going to happen. Like, if you understand that you're facing danger, like you're human, you will be scared, but it doesn't mean that you don't get into the battle when needed and you don't do the right thing. No, you act despite the way you feel, and that's what makes a good soldier, and that's what makes a strong man. So bravery is a value. Fearless, not really, because it's not realistic. It's like saying, I don't know, being bulletproof. It's nice in idea, but it's not in practice. Again, there's something like warrior. I don't know what it means. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything to add to that. It just you try. Some of you are trying to add things that sound cool and badass, but that's not actually a real thing. What else? Expert. What does an expert mean? Like, how do you project a value of expertise? That's not a value. An expertise is not value. A value, you can say, is always working to become the best in this field, because that's something that never stops. You do it every single day. What else? Accountable. Again, I don't know what it means. Yeah, many of you just tried to put things that sounds cool. Like, yeah, I would love to be that, but that's not really it. Okay, I already gave you my input already, so you guys should have a better image how you're going to rewrite your values. You already understand which mistakes you made and how you can do that better. I hope. Again, you can always ask me in the chats. That's fine. I'm always here to respond. If you're somebody is asking if they're sick, should they continue or not? Yes, always continue unless you're bedridden. Okay. Okay, next. I don't want to get into the question right now, but let's continue with the next part of the exercise. So you guys have your values, and you guys are going to make them even better. And we are going to stop and work on them as we continue with the program, because as I said, the goal of this program is to transform your current self into the man that you believe you deserve to be, right? Because let's be real, guys. Society, if you're a man, society has failed you. Society has raised you to be a pussy. Society will try to make you like a little girl, and society try to make you like a dumbass. That's how they treat men, and it's very sad, but that's the reality of the world. Because whenever you try to portray values that weren't exactly part of the programming, you've been punished. Like, your parents told you, oh, you shouldn't go out there with your friends, they're bad influence, stay at home, stay here, play in your room. Or they told you, oh, you're speaking in your class, shut up, don't make friends, yeah. Or somebody's bullying you, oh, just go tell the teacher or some shit. You see, you've been pussified, all of you, all of us. I'm no exempt. It's just the way the world works, the Western society. And that sucks. But fortunately, this conditioning can be undone. It's not easy. It doesn't take. It's not quick, but it's absolutely doable, and that's what we work. We are setting the foundation for the man you want to be, a real man, and not just the pussified version of yourself, like a shadow of a man that they made you. And frankly, if you compare your current testosterone levels with your grandfather, like an old alcoholic, sick grandfather, your testosterone level are going to be slightly lower than him. Because you know